the... Really? Destroyed my dramatic entrance there. Yo, what is up, friends, foes, and members of the Omni Council? My name is Daimien Kamiya and I am quickly closing my door. I am the Omni King. It has been over a week since I've streamed because I was sick. I was really mad. You know, that was 10 days off of work I'm not getting back. I still have this lingering cough. It's not as bad as the previous lingering coughs, though. It's more like, there's like phlegm in my throat. It's not so much a cough as I'm like trying to like upheave it out. But yeah, so I'm super happy to be back. Finally, excited to get back into content creation. My foot hurts. I don't know what I did. I think I pinched a nerve in my foot. A coworker kind of brought up that idea, and it makes the most sense because, you know, like medication isn't really helping and stuff like that. So yeah, so we're gonna get in and we're gonna do Neuvillette's story mission. I also, because it's Thursday, I need to do a little bit of domain farming. Also, I need to, there's a new event that just started today, so I need to hit that on up. I don't know if I'm gonna have Genshin next week either, because there might be more character story. Like Risley might have character story, I don't know. But no more delays. Let's just actually get into the game here. Alrighty, this and this. So you'll see there's an interesting perspective here. The other day I did indeed pull for Neuvillette. It was expensive. Probably the worst pull luck I've had ever. Took me 145 pulls to get him. I failed the 50-50 and I got Mona after already pulling a significant amount of times.
Water comes in many flavors to the discerning palate.
But I realized that because he's Catalyst and has some pretty good DPS, he's actually just better than Ayato in the role that he serves. So, anyways, I need to do dailies. I need to do the domain farming. So those are the two things I want to do first. What dailies do I? Fontaine dailies. Okay. There is this new system in now. I don't know why it keeps telling me to go to guide. We'll hold off on that, because I might be able to just simply... Like, let's do the domain. So the domain I need to do is to get weapon points for Neuvillette, because I don't have enough. And it's a Thursday dungeon, so I had to wait till today. Alright, let's give this a shot. They always have recommendeds, and I never follow them, because... is always just better.
I see everything. Our bond is strong.
Bow your head. Justice is blindsided.
Everyone hold hands. Share my knowledge. Dissipate.
Propagate.
No, come on.
Germinate. The tides beckon.
Got it.
Our bond is strong.
So now I understand why it asked for Geo. We just gotta do this a number of times.
Stand with me. I see everything.
Thanks for interrupting my attack, by the way.
Our bond is strong. Everyone hold hands. Make yourselves at home.
Stop doing that! They keep interrupting my charge attack. Which, so when he uses his skill and his burst, he spawns these orbs, and those orbs allow him to instantly cast this charge attack, which is pretty much all of his DPS. But if you don't, you actually have to charge it, and it's one of the slowest charging animations in the game. That I should be able to get these all to level 2. I knew I had a lot of these, and the reason I have a lot of them is because of the thingamabob that you get for like daily things and stuff.
Melusines are
I just didn't have enough of the starting one.
They are the pride of Fontaine. Be sure to befriend them. Cause them.
All right, we can leave. All right. We're gonna go do this thing. So it's a Liwa Mondstadt collab event. It's something to do with poetry.
Looks like you're having fun. What's the occasion this time? Oh, do I spy a traveler and a Paimon? We were just talking about you. This is more serendipitous than finding Mora after face planting on the road.
What are the odds?
It's been too long. I'll bet you have some thrilling new tales from your journey to fill me in on. I can see it in your eyes.
Now our dull moment on this Neuvillette trip.
Excellent! I knew I could count on you.
What were you talking about before we got here? Something fun? Or something delicious?
We were talking about one certain traveler, and how two's company, but three's a crowd, as the inseparable duo tour around Tibet, making 4 friends here and 5 more
What was
there,
with the
and 6
what was
and
with the
7s
hand
as they
motions?
brave the lakes and seas, collecting pieces of 8 and countless other treasures. They clearly must have 9 lives. Wink, wink. Let's hope they have less than 10 deaths.
Absolutely not.
It just gets worse and worse.
Shortly, you may attend a grand banquet at Stone Gate. All will be dressed to the nines for majestic food and fine wines. And after 8 long drinks and 7 shorts, they'll each write 6 lines 5 times. You've been to all 4 corners of the world, so in 3 short seconds, can you guess from these 2 stanzas of 1 speech each what this event is about?
So I know it's a poetry festival, but I want to say accounting festival just to see his response.
It's not, though that does sound fun. Maybe we missed an opportunity. In fact, it's a poetry gala, jointly hosted by representatives from both Mondstadt and Liyue. Do you still remember the promise I made to the distinguished director Who here during the Lantern Rite?
Oh, something about writing poetry together?
That's right. At the dinner table that night, I just knew this young bard was a rare talent with exceptional taste. You know, it's rare to encounter such a kindred spirit. And now,
Can we make it canon that Hu
seized the
Tao
chance
just
to
becomes friends with all
collaborate.
the
It
archons?
took me much trekking across the land to petition Eugene Terrace and contact the Knights of Favonius, but eventually, in the spirit of friendship and poetry sharing, I managed to successfully organize the neighboring nation's congenial poetry gala.
Bit of a weird name.
Liyue's poetry is known far and wide, and Mondstadt is the city of wine and song. With 2 nations teaming up, it'll be double the fun, and a great chance for people from both places to get to know one another. Hu Tao and I will be the co-hosts for this poetry gala. Of course, I haven't studied the various forms and formalities of Liyue poetry for very long, so please forgive my dreadful performance just now.
Not at all, Venti. You followed my lead most excellently.
You flatter me.
Well, this sounds like fun. Let's get involved.
First two, I won't to dabble. I won't to dabble in verse. Sure looks like everyone is.
Oh, Paimon, sure you'll be amazing.
I've written poems
Remember that
before,
time
but
in
like,
Liyue when Paimon
not
gave you
this
the
kind.
first half of a couplet? Wind rises, winds never churn. You came up with the second half right away.
The sea of clouds, clouds always return.
Oh, looks like someone's got a knack for this. Perhaps we'll have to raise the difficulty a little.
All right, so basically you guys are here to discuss the activities for the poetry gala, right?
Oh, looks like little Paimon's brain has gained a wrinkle or 2. You guessed it so effortlessly, but you still guessed it wrong.
Huh? Wait, Paimon guessed wrong?
We came here hoping to invite a special guest.
So
I already told you, I'm not going.
Xiao, you're here too!
Never having penned a verse myself, how could I hope to judge the poetry of others? Besides, afflicted with karma as I am, the raucous atmosphere you are cultivating is precisely the kind which I must avoid, as you well know.
Hey now, there's a first time for everything, right? We all start from itsy bitsy spider, but give it a shot and
really funny in the
you'll be
English
wandering
VA
lonely as
here.
a cloud in
Until
no time.
until Ether
And you
speaks
don't
in
even have
this,
to join us
it's
in
all
person if
female
you really don't
voices.
want to. You can just watch the party from nearby
Well, the
mountains
Zhao and
and
Venti are
now
voiced by
here's on.
females.
But at least head down and take a look first. It's right by the inn, and there's plenty of fun activities to get involved with. It can't hurt to take a quick walk and check things out.
Besides, with the renowned traveler here, what is there to fear?
Join us. It'll be fun.
I'll consider it.
It's nearly time. Why don't you all head to the venue and take a look around? Quite a few of your friends should have arrived by now.
Yes, that's right. Venti and I still need to discuss the poem for the opening ceremony. So, we'll catch up with you later. Plus, our Adeptus friend might need a bit more convincing. We'll see if we can coax him down.
Gotcha! We'll be on our way then!
Can't I just go to the festival and call his name? Like, didn't he say he would always be there to assist us? What if we needed his help with some poetry? So I'm curious as to who's actually going to be here. Are we going to see some Jean and Ningguang interaction, or?
Didn't think there'd be so many people here already. And a lot of them are familiar faces. Let's go say hi.
I see Noelle and Mika. There's Chungcho and Chungyun. I see Diona over there. What's up, my dudes? We got the blue crew.
Well, look who's here. This poetry fest seems to have attracted talent of the highest caliber.
Hey! Xingqiu and Changyun are here too!
I was actually heading into the mountains to train, but he accosted me on the way and dragged me here.
I just love him. He's
Well,
such
your
a
word
pushover.
told me. Is it not the responsibility of an exorcist of Liyue to ensure that this celebration of friendship between our two nations stays free of evil spirits? Besides, this is an excellent
Xingqiu is such a
opportunity to meet
silver
heroes who have come from far and wide. Surely, you must be curious as to how that heroine of Mondstadt was able to lift such heavy objects like they were but a feather.
Are you talking about Noelle? Yeah, she's super strong!
Oh? Well, since you are so well acquainted, could we trouble you to introduce us later?
Okay, fine. But don't forget to help me with my investigation like you promised. That's the only reason I agreed to come at all.
Huh? What investigation?
Naturally, I could never forget such a thing. My word is my bond. Relax, dear Paimon. All will be revealed in time.
Medication sucks. You can't even like. My model's not complex enough for you to see the faces I'm making. Ugh. Liquid cough syrup. Ugh.
Diona! Traveler in Paimon? I didn't expect to see you here.
There's an event going on that can get me primos. Why am I not gonna be here?
I was specially asked to attend this event.
Especially after all the ones I blew on getting Neuvillette.
As a mixologist representing the Mondstadt wine industry. You're representing Mondstadt's wine industry? Oh, you must be hating every minute of it. Of course I hate it. But it's also a perfect chance to destroy the reputation of Mondstadt's wine business once and for all. Opportunities like this don't come around every day, you know. Huh? How do you figure that? All I need to do is add some gross ingredients to the drinks, and I can create the most disgusting concoctions imaginable. Nobody will ever buy wine from Mondstadt again. Paimon thinks you'll end up getting the opposite result. Just you wait. I ain't about
So I recently learned this. It's probably explained in her hangout event. But Diona is like blessed by a Seelie or whatever. So that she, no matter what she puts into a drink, it always comes out delicious. Don't overwork yourself.
You write some poetry with us too? Poetry? I've heard plenty of bards sing in the tavern before, but I've never tried writing any myself. You should join in. It'll be fun. of time. Mika! Noelle!
Oh, it's the Traveler in Paimon. Are you here for the neighboring nation's congenial poetry gala as well?
Oh, Noelle, always so cleanly
You
put
said
together.
that with a straight face? Is Paimon the only one who thinks it sounds weird?
Are you here as Mondstadt's representatives?
Representatives? No. Nothing fancy like that. We were sent here by the Knights of Favonius to help maintain order and set up the venue. But I didn't really do anything useful so far. Noelle brought all these tables and chairs here from Mondstadt by herself. She's a true knight.
Oh, no, that's just not true. Your efforts were indispensable. You selected the venue, drew up the layout, and so on. Also, you're the true knight here. I'm still in training.
Oh, come on,
If
can
anything,
Noelle get
I should be
promoted,
addressing
please?
You as sir.
What? No.
I
Just keep calling
want
me
Noelle
Mika.
to be promoted.
Why does it feel like these two could keep this up all day?
Anyway, Master Jane did say that as long as we keep on top of our work, we should take a look around while we're here and get involved in the poetry gala as much as we can. But I haven't written much poetry before, so I'm not sure if I'll fit in.
I actually have the same concern.
Important thing is to just participate.
You won't be alone. We're joining too. The Traveler's a really good writer, you know.
Where's the proof?
Really? In that case, we'll try our best too.
Perhaps the challenge of writing poetry is a rite of passage that all who wish to qualify as a knight must eventually face.
Paimon wouldn't go that far. But anyway, no backing out now. See you soon.
Sure, maybe you can teach me a thing or two.
Oh, Mika beat me to it. I was gonna ask for help too.
We'll write together. I think it'd be cool if just out of the blue there's some random non-Liyue, like obviously like Kazuha could be here,
Poems
but
and melodies wandering the wind, wafting to pastures beyond their home.
Two greedy fishies struggling to swim. They ate so much that they're starting to groan.
Animal crystal fly draped in gold robes, a bright little light from that glazed lantern glows.
Benches pinch the rice and scoot while the boars of the forest anxiously root.
Welcome one and all to this festival of poetry, jointly organized by Liyue and Mondstadt.
Or, in full, the neighboring nation's congenial poetry gala. We're your hosts, Liyue's verse-monger of the darkest alleys.
And Mondstadt's liquor-loving lyricist, Venti the Bard. The purpose of this event is to promote friendly poetic exchanges between our two nations. So please, have fun, talk to other people, and make some new friends.
If you're here, you're our guest, so please enjoy this poetry fest.
I'd also like to reassure everyone that this event welcomes people of all skill levels, from first-time rhymers to seasoned songwriters. If you ask me, the most important thing you can bring to writing poetry is authenticity. That means reaching deep down to all the thoughts and feelings you usually hide away or struggle to express, and putting them into words. Just right from the heart in whatever form you like.
To help everyone really cut loose and enjoy themselves to the fullest, Venti and I have carefully prepared 3 themes to be revealed over the course of 3 days. Let's get right to it. The first theme is Riddle Me This.
Solving riddles, huh? Interesting. It's actually a pretty good choice for a warm-up activity.
Whew. I'm glad they're not making us write sonnets or something right at the start.
Does everyone see the lanterns hanging around the venue? These have been specially prepared for the riddle game. Simply write down your riddle and hang it on a lantern. Then Venti and I will select a few to pose to the crowd, and you will try to solve them. We'll now give you some time to write down and hang up your riddles. Feel free to walk around and talk with the other contestants to get the creative juices flowing. And remember, whoever Whoever guesses the most riddles correctly will get a prize.
And with that, the neighboring nation's congenial poetry gala has officially begun. That was a good little opening ceremony, wasn't it? Even if I do say so myself.
We couldn't cajole Adeptus Chow in the end. He said he'd take a peek from the peaks, but that was all he'd agree to. It's a real shame. I had the perfect poem for his entrance and everything.
Oh, let's see what's on this lantern. A tender sigh for home, how far the flowers roam. A visitor asks me why, for a dream beyond the sky. Okay, someone from Liyue definitely wrote this one.
I just read that one too. Liyue's poems seem pretty difficult to grasp.
Dreams? Sky? Is it talking about some kind of bird?
So it means something like, this thing's really far from home. It's in a vast area, and it's flying really high.
In a nutshell, yes, very clear and concise.
Oh, you're amazing, Paimon! Oh, it looks like I still have a lot of learning to do.
It's nothing really. Once you've spent enough time in Liyue, you just sort of pick up on these things.
Oh, I know exactly what you mean. Back when I was out with the Grandmaster on the expedition, I started picking up some local customs without even realizing it.
But back to the riddle. We still haven't actually solved it. What could it be talking about?
Something that flies high and far.
Oh, that makes sense. And Mondstadters believe that dandelions can carry your feelings on the wind.
But maybe we're missing something? It can't be that easy. After all, it's a riddle from Liyue. What would their equivalent of the dandelion be? If there even is one. What do you think, Traveler?
Dandelion is the right
Great.
answer.
Then we'll have one answer ready to go when the game begins.
Important thing is that it's
Right,
authentic.
just like Venti said. As long as the interpretation makes sense and reflects our perception of the poem, then perhaps there are no wrong answers.
Well, no matter what the real answer is, the guessing's all a part of the fun. Let's go look at the next one.
Oh yes, I want to see if there's any Mondstadt-style riddles.
This one says, oh, this handwriting is just awful. I have four corners like a square pancake, but I'm stuffed and seasoned and carefully baked. I pass through the lips one piece at a time. The more you consume, the broader your mind.
And congrats on the VA for
Wow, Paimon's drooling from that one. Is there really a food that can make you smarter? Paimon's gotta try that.
Oh, Paimon, you have to look past the surface-level meaning with riddles, or you'll fail to plumb their depths.
Huh? So have you got any ideas, Shinjo?
Well,
Xingqiu just hung that riddle up a moment ago.
Oh, so this is Shinjo's riddle! You know, Paimon was expecting you to write something a little more elegant.
this festival is about building friendship and mutual understanding. With so many friends from Mondstadt present, I thought I'd try writing something more accessible and less flowery, so that more people could enjoy it.
Hey, not bad! So, buddy, does that mean you can tell your old pal Paimon the answer on the slide?
Not a chance. You'll have to wait for the answer to be revealed, just like everyone else. If that's how you feel, why don't you try and stump me with a riddle of your own?
Maybe Paimon will! We'll see who stumps who! Traveler, you'll help Paimon come up with a riddle, right?
Gladly.
At least you're nice to Paimon.
Then I look forward to seeing the fruits of your literary labors.
Ha! Prepare to get stabbed! Even though Paimon said she'd write a riddle, Paimon really doesn't have any clue how. Let's start by reading a few more of other people's for inspiration. On four long legs, my slim body sits.
I like my my personal favorite riddle. What can go down a chimney up but can't go yeah, what can go up a chimney down but can't go down a chimney up?
Is this talking about some kind of
It's an umbrella. Remember that was from a show called King. I think that episode there was like that one riddle was like basically destroying an entire city. Like people were freaking out over it so much that it was like causing catastrophe. And the main character ended up figuring it out.
It's a chair. Huh? Diona, how did you guess it so quickly? Wait, were you the one who wrote it? No, of course I didn't write it. The answer just popped into my head. I'm always telling the cats in the tavern that the chairs get tired from working all the time, so they shouldn't use them to sharpen their claws. Oh, okay. So a riddle needs to have a bait and switch. Are you trying to write one? Yep, and thanks to you, Paimon's just thought of one. Maybe I should try to come up with one too. All right, Paimon's riddle is now hanging up. Diona, do you want to know the answer? Nah, no need. I don't really care about winning a prize. Oh, okay then. Well, looks like it's time to carry on with the event. We should regroup with the others. Sure, have fun.
Hey, looks like everyone's about done mingling and riddling. Gather round and look this way. Venti and I
The
have
woman with the
selected
blue hair
several
looks like she
riddles
came out
for
of that
everyone's
event in the desert
contributions, and
before
we added a
Fontaine
few
was
of our own
released.
to the mix for good measure. Shortly, we'll randomly select a few to read aloud. If your riddle gets selected, remember that you have to announce the correct answer at the end. Anyone who guesses correctly gets 1 point, and if nobody guesses correctly, the writer of the riddle gets a point. Sounds fair to me.
Of course, when the riddler reveals the right response, it only counts if everyone agrees that it's not too far-fetched.
That's right. Now, if there are no more questions, it's time to reveal the first riddle.
Hopefully they'll draw at least some that I can get. Oh no, does only the first person to solve it get the points? Ugh. That means I have to be first to raise my hand.
Please choose Paimon's riddle. Please choose Paimon's riddle.
Riddle number 1. Let me see here. This is unique, especially the handwriting. I have four corners, like a square pancake, but I'm stuffed and seasoned and carefully baked. I pass through the chips.
I gotta give credit to the translation team here for keeping the theme of what could be improperly spelled.
Consume. The broader your mind.
They drew Shinchos!
Better answer as quickly as you can. You don't want someone else beating you to it.
You... Oh, rat! It's... pizza! The answer is pizza!
author coming forward, I can confidently declare this answer wrong. I mean, how does eating pizza broaden your mind? And while I'm no expert in exotic dishes, if I'm not mistaken, pizza is round, is it not? Like mora meat?
But eating pizza makes you happy, and being happy makes it easier to face problems.
Hey, welcome to the stream.
Solving. So, okay, Paimon admits she may have jumped the gun on this one.
Maybe it's some other kind of food. No. Riddles are never that simple, and it needs to be something that makes people more intelligent.
If Paimon had known it was gonna be this tough, she'd have read more books in her time.
I'm on.
What is it? Have you got it? Huh?
They're square. They've got lots of big words baked into them. Every big word that passes through your lips as you read it out makes you smarter.
Oh, gotcha! Bucks! The answer is bucks!
That was quicker than I expected. I was quite proud of that one.
Oh, it appears the riddle writer has announced the answer. Okay, 1 point to Paimon.
Huh? So the answer was books? Oh, how did I not get that? Come on, Mika. Concentrate.
We're awesome at this! Oh, what Paimon meant to say was that you're awesome at this. Thanks for the point, Traveler.
On to riddle number 2.
Hey, random.
I gotta get in there.
Thanks
first
for
this
the
time.
welcome back.
High
I'm
above
happy to
this
be back. I'm
vast
happy to not be like
gloom
falling
silver
apart
trap,
anymore.
Standing alone on an icy stage, beneath it every lowly sage. Looks like a poem from Leela.
Oh, it's...
I got it.
Looks like those two have some ideas. Could it be some kind of plant that lives in cold, high places?
Mika, please go ahead. As a full Knight of Favonius, you represent all of us from Mondstadt here.
Oh god, they're gonna go back and forth on this one.
No, how could I? It was you who thought of it first. You should be the one to guess.
I'm gonna just kind of
My answer
bypass
isn't
a little bit.
necessarily correct. Besides,
No, I did.
How gracious and considerate our fellow competitors are towards each other. A wonderful sight to see. How about both of you say your answer at the same time? If you're both right, you'll each get a point.
oops, I didn't realize we'd made such a scene.
Oh, crud. So, Noelle, what do you say?
Yes, let's. Our answer is...
Cecilia!
Oh, that certainly sounds like a good candidate for the correct answer. A flower that blooms on the highest peaks and known for its exquisite beauty. The Cecilia is held by many Mondstadters to be the true Windblue. Although, since the writer hasn't yet come forward to announce the answer, this probably wasn't the answer they were looking for. Sorry. Any other answers?
Oh, I can't believe I was wrong. Maybe it's a plant from Liyue.
Is the answer Genshin? The poem does evoke a strong sense of quiet, proud solitude in a high place.
Correct. I wrote this one. Genshin is the right answer.
No! Shinjo got it before Paimon could.
However, after listening to the host's description, I do remember reading about Cecilia flowers in a book once. They definitely fit the description of a pure flower standing proudly and alone on high. So, I'd like to approve the answer from our two friends from Mondstadt as well.
Really? Oh, thank you so much!
Well, since even the Riddler themselves agrees, all 3 contestants earn a point each.
Darn it! Shinjo's got up to Paimon already!
It's just one measly point.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Moving now to our third riddle. Why is the handwriting so floaty? What's got
Hello,
no
Rain.
wings but flies in the air,
Welcome.
never gets tired of floating up there. So full of mora it comes out the nose, but in the sea, glug glug glug, down it goes.
That's Paimon's. They picked Paimon's riddle. Yay! What is it? Why isn't anyone guessing? Is Paimon's riddle too hard?
That's not quite it. More like, it's so ludicrously simple that we just cannot believe it.
No way! Well, go on then. Tell us the answer if you're
They're all gonna
sure.
say Paimon at
The
once.
answer is Paimon.
What?
It's Paimon.
I was actually gonna say Paimon too.
Me too.
No! You're all completely wrong! How the heck did you all think the answer was Paimon?
Paimon, do you have wings behind your back?
No.
You're always floating, but you never seem to get tired of it.
And Paimon has a very healthy appetite, which must cost the traveler a lot of mora and meal expenses.
I've heard from the senior knights that the traveler rescued Paimon by fishing her out of the sea. So, that means Paimon can't swim. So if she fell in the sea, then...
Glug, glug. Wait, now Paimon's doubting her. No, you're all wrong. The answer to Paimon's riddle is obviously the Jade Chamber. You know, the Jade Chamber that's always flying up there in the sky.
Is that so? I still maintain that the riddle actually describes Paimon more accurately. In fact, if we just added 2 more lines to the poem, it would be the perfect riddle.
What do you want to add?
The traveler's companion and talkative guide, a praiseworthy presence always by their side.
Aw, do you mean it? Can we really add that?
Paimon, the best travel companion ever. Oh man, why isn't there an emergency food line here?
You think so cute? Okay, then Paimon would like to announce that the correct answer to the riddle is the widely adored Paimon!
Great! And with that, the...
Guessing riddles is a lot of fun. And even though Paimon didn't manage to beat Shinto, Paimon still feels like she got a little smarter. Oh, didn't Changyu mention he was investigating something before? Let's go ask him about it. Hey, you two!
There's gonna be handwriting lessons.
Oh? Hi, Paimon. You know, for a moment there, I was worried I might lose to you.
Oh, are you collecting your prize right now?
I am indeed. Though, if you really want it, I'd be more...
Seriously? Wow, what is it?
A most generous donation by yours truly as director of the Wangsheng Funeral Parlor. Namely, a buy one, get one free coupon. It's a pleasant surprise to learn you're so...
Nope, nuh-uh, no thank you, hard pass, you can keep it.
Are you sure? In that case,
Oh, here you are. Now remember, this package comes with our anytime, anywhere, on-demand collection service. Just
so, to what do we owe the honor, Paimon?
What do you mean we? Changyun's the one Paimon's looking for, not you. Wasn't he
How
saying
rude.
something about needing help?
Oh, yeah.
How rude.
That.
How about I put it in riddle form?
Huh? Isn't the competition over?
'Twas like a demon not demonic, or devil devoid of the diabolic. Afar it floated free above the ground, but when approached, though sought, naught could be found.
sounds to me like you encountered a ghastly little ghosty in the wild.
Perhaps I should just explain it. Basically, while I was training this morning, I suddenly caught sight of a non-human entity. It was floating in the air without any kind of external aid, and its body was almost transparent. At first I thought I'd finally encountered a demon that wasn't repelled by my pure yang spirit, and immediately prepared to exorcise it. But none of my methods had any effect on it, and when I went to try and get a closer look at it and tried to ascertain what I was dealing with, it disappeared into thin air.
You're sure it's not a ghost or spirit of some kind?
Quite sure. I could sense that it had a physical body, and if it were a spirit, I'm sure it would have been scared away long before I saw it. It's all my fault. I got overexcited, and in my haste, I didn't ascertain its true nature before taking action. Thinking back on it, if it wasn't an evil spirit, maybe I offended some kind of adeptus, or illuminated beast.
You shouldn't blame yourself. It was something you'd never seen before. Anyone else would have reacted the same way. Besides, we're making up for it now by doing our best to find out the truth.
Any thoughts, Venti? Have you managed to untangle Chongyun's twisted tail?
Why don't you take a guess first, Hu Tao?
Oh, that means you have.
I can't be absolutely certain, but I'm reasonably sure it's not what Liyue would call an evil spirit or demon. So whatever it is, it's not dangerous. How about this? We can incorporate a search element into tomorrow's poetry activity.
Oh, does that mean we get to play outside while we write poetry?
Play outside.
Close, but no. Good ideas could just pop into your head out of thin air, but if you ask me, everyone should relax tonight and get a good rest before tomorrow.
You say that, but your gaze keeps drifting over towards the wine stand.
Alright, let's get these events done. Yo. What are you doing? In 100 pays hurdling rights, players can throw darts. Hitting any spot on the hurdling and the holding pots with darts will award points. Holding the throw button will allow you to aim, release to throw the dart, hit as many hold pots as you can within the time limit to score points. This is an ordinary holding pot created by the organizer, which will award 25 points when hit. Slight pots are special holding pots created by the organizer that will award 25 points when hit. For a short time after, you can fire off multiple darts consecutively, holding the throw button. Ring of Rights is a special item created by the organizer. If thrown darts pass through the ring to hit a holding pot, the score gain will be doubled. The ring will disappear after a short while. I got the 600, so I'm happy.
It's over.
You get a new weapon. Alright, energy recharge, which is fantastic. Within 6 seconds after normal or charge attack hits an opponent, normal attack damage will be increased by 8%, and charge attack damage will be increased by 6%. Max 3 stacks. This effect can be triggered once every 3 seconds. I'd have to go on a Catalyst user that needs to use their burst a lot, but also attacks a lot.
Water comes in many flavors to the discerning palate. Mondstadt's water.
Oh yeah, I've come to the conclusion, listening to his dialogue lines, that Neuvillette is the truest of Hydro homies. After the challenge begins, characters who defeat opponents within the mythic domains will obtain inspiring crystals. Inspiring crystals will rupture once every 40 seconds. When they rupture, they will release a shockwave within a fixed AoE that deals immense damage based on the number of inspiring crystals stacks currently the current on-field character has. When inspired characters are waiting to rupture, mythic nexus will appear within the domain. Such foes will be very tough and hard to defeat. Skilled use of inspiring crystals are required. After inspiring crystals rupture, if the mythic nexus has already been defeated, they will once again begin to stack. If the mythic nexus has not been defeated, the crystals will not begin to stack again, but the nexus will be weakened and no other opponents will spawn until it is defeated. After that happens, crystals will begin to stack again. Frozen, vaporize, or electrocharge. Right, let's give this team a shot.
Here comes the catch. Rain cutter. Shine down.
Here comes the fireworks!
No, my sword. Game's up. Fun's over. Let me weave you a web. There is no escape. Inazuma shines eternal.
Fire hazard!
Let's go.
Rain outlines your fate. Know my sword. Witness the power. Here comes the catch. Illusion shattered.
The fuse is lit! Let's super freeze!
Gotcha. Rain outlines your fate. Let me weave you a verse. Things are about to get dicey. There is no escape.
Fire hazard! What the ship do?
Quietly now. Huh? Huh.
I hope that was enough points. Right, where's this one? I'm an hour into this and I haven't even gotten to the actual content I wanted to do on the stream. I don't need you to explain your process to me. I just need to, Oh, already got the weapon. I'm trying to figure out a character that uses Catalyst, regularly uses their offensive skills, but really does like to prioritize Burst. Yeah, I don't think I have that character at the moment. That's when I think of like Mona. Oh, maybe Klee. I lose out on the 45% attack boost, but I find that Klee's burst is really important. Well, I can't level it up right now. I can do it tomorrow, though. Yeah, Klee's burst is hugely useful. That's right, I didn't change his glider. I don't know how I feel about this picture one so far.
Self-cleansing mechanisms. But human activity tends to reduce snow's purity, so do not consume it.
Like, it already feels annoying. Like the fact that I have to go to here, then I have to go to here, then I have to click this, then I have to click this just to see the fucking picture I need to take.
I see the value in my own. But I also see the meaning in all the endeavors of the people of Fontaine. I believe I will continue to take pride in fulfilling my duties.
Like, I don't get this one. I don't know if I'm just overthinking it or what, but this, like, whole thing just seems, like, super dumb. Am I just supposed to take a picture of the monastery? Like, what am I supposed to do? Get the right angle? Like, the game doesn't give me an idea of what angle I need to take the shot from. Is that where I'm supposed to take it from? Where the purple arrow is? Yeah, I'm looking up a guide for this. I actually had it right in the first attempt. And there is an icon that actually appears where you need to take the picture from. I hate this vent. Such a waste of time. Like, I'm here. This is exactly where it is for the picture. Oh, is it because I didn't talk to the guy? Like, what am I Oh, because I'm not doing it in order. Bullshit. Who the fuck cares? You give me all three pictures at once. Like, heaven forbid I'm gonna go in the order you give them to me in. Alright, let's get this last one and then I can finally just move the fuck on. Alright, last one. There. And then I can use that progress to claim my dailies without having to do the actual missions. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Oh, I think I have a normal pull. I have 3. Let's do these. Yo, 5-star, let's go. Who is it? Oh, it's a book. Lost Prayer to the Sacred Winds. I don't have this. I'll take it because, like, I don't really need the characters anymore. So it's crit rate. Increased movement speed by 10%. When in battle, gain plus 8% elemental damage bonus every 4 seconds. Max 4 stacks. Lasts until the character falls or leaves combat. Can't grind for that either. That seems like a really nice DPS one. I might give that one to Scaramouche. I gotta give it to Heizo, but this weapon is basically designed for Heizo. Because of how quickly he can use his burst and his skill. I'd also give it to Klee if I didn't get that the new book here. No, probably wouldn't be too bad on Mona though, because Mona uses energy recharge. Right, Mona's hydro bonus damage by a degree equivalent to 20% of her energy recharge rate. You have to get her to 70 for it to matter though, but Alright, let me go turn in my dailies here. We'll head to my home instance as well.
Add Thank you for
And we can actually get the Neuvillette story. It'll definitely be after midnight by the time I get it done. Like 100% at this point. Most character stories I find are at least 3 hours long.
This realm is... If you
I'm waiting for Layla to hit that Fable level 10 so I can... I was going to put Ayato in, but now I'm going to put Neuvillette in because... Alright, this is where I need to go for his mission anyways.
Wait, did I hear that right? Monsieur Neuvillette, are you sure you'd like to take over the case yourself?
That's right.
Oh, but why? Technically speaking, cases like this are better left to the guards.
Neuvillette! Sedine! Hey there! What are you two talking about?
Completely forgot I still had these
Paimon,
rock stars
please help
that
me
I bought
talk
for the
our Chief
24-hour
Justice
stream.
out of this. He wants to investigate a case on his own. Now, this is completely unprecedented. How can we have the Udex acting like a private detective? Hmm?
Planning to break in to a new industry. I can introduce you to some amazing
I trust
detectives.
that you'd be able to work that out with how well connected you are. But I must apologize. I do not plan on relying on anyone else's help for this matter.
So, what is it exactly? It sure sounds serious if it's something you've got to investigate personally.
A Melusine named Kiara received a threat letter.
Kiara?
Then?
That is all the information I have acquired at this stage.
I have no idea why you're so hung up over this. I've checked the schedule in advance, and it seems like there aren't any trials today. So, if you insist, I have no objections.
Thank you for understanding. I will leave a note explaining my absence on my desk. I would appreciate it if you could take it to Lady Farina. She may have no interest in official affairs, but standard procedure dictates that I'm still responsible for reporting to her.
Yes, understood. I'll come back later and deliver the note to her.
I'd love to see Neuvillette interact with the
Judging
Valen.
from Sedine's reaction, it must be pretty rare for you to investigate stuff personally. What's so special about this case?
I cannot tell you just yet, but it reminded me of certain past events. There could be complicated conflicts of interest behind all this, so I must eliminate all risks in advance.
Could explain in detail?
Come on, stop being so secretive. We still have no idea what's going on.
It is not my intention to keep you in the dark, but I need some time to revisit those memories and collect my thoughts. Long story short, a little more than 400 years ago, I became the Udex of Fontaine and initiated a series of institutional reforms. There were few people I could trust, but I had two subordinates who were exceptionally trustworthy and capable. Carol, a Melusine, and Vautrin, leader of the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol.
They must have been amazing people to receive such high praise from you.
Indeed. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to protect them. The reforms damaged the interests of some, and the more conservative faction took advantage of Carol's identity to instigate political unrest. Ultimately, they wanted me to yield more of my power. The incident resulted in Carol taking her own life, and Vautrin being exiled. From then on, I've been especially careful when dealing with cases related to Melusines.
You're concerned that you're the perpetrator's real target? Seems like you're using Melusine.
All Melusines used to live a secluded life away from human society. I granted their wishes when some of them, including Carol, asked me to bring them to the court of Fontaine. Many common folk believe that I share a special bond with the Melusines, and whatever they do can be traced back to me. Some of them, especially those who hold a grudge against me, exploit that belief and stir up conflict over Melusines in an attempt to lay the blame on me. I have nothing against the opinions of others, but the moment a whirlpool of conspiracy forms, it inevitably affects the innocent. It has already happened once, and I want to make sure it does not happen again.
Even so, why do you have to be the one investigating? There's the guards, the Marechaussee Phantom, and the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol. Aren't they more than enough to figure out what's going on?
Based on prior experience, there is a high chance that those who hold hostility towards me do not belong to the same department. The political system of Fontaine is relatively complex and involves the interests of multiple different factions. However, since I am technically an outsider in Fontaine, A lot of trouble could be avoided if I personally took on the case.
Outsider? But aren't you the Chief Justice of Fontaine? Why would you be an outsider?
Said too much.
I understand where you are coming from, but there is not necessarily a connection between my responsibilities and how I perceive myself. You know very well about my true identity, and have even met others of my kind in other nations.
A Hydro Dragon Sovereign.
Even though I was born with a human form, there is a fundamental difference between dragons and humans. Taking on the role of Chief Justice does not make me a part of this community. In fact, the status I was granted has prevented me from forming deeper bonds with others. I have lived in Fontaine for a long time, but I do not belong here. That is why I call myself an outsider. A fish out of water.
We're also outsiders to Fontaine.
Yeah, we have nothing to do with all those organizations anyway. So how about we come with you on your investigation? Let's team up and round up all the bad guys lurking in the dark.
That does not sound like a bad idea. I rarely investigate cases on my own, but with professionals like you around, I'm sure it will
Professionals.
go a lot smoother.
Oh, Paimon's starting to get a little embarrassed. Just leave it to us.
I will write my note of absence right away. Let us depart together once I'm done. Let us go. We should visit Kiara first and try to gain a better understanding of the situation.
If we're gonna go by Scooby-Doo logic, Kiara is the first suspect.
So Neuvillette feels like he doesn't truly belong here in Fontaine, but is that really true? Paimon feels like he has a kinda skewed perspective on a lot of things. Anyway, let's catch up with him first. Paimon's been thinking. You called yourself a fish out of water, right? But since you're the Hydro Dragon, would a dragon out of water suit you better?
Thank you for your suggestion. I will consider using the more accurate term in private occasions. Please allow me to rephrase. Has a dragon out of water?
That sounds kind of weird.
I can't tell if he was being honest or if he was just like childishly humoring her. Alright, where am I going?
I never thought I'd see him here.
The weather's amazing today.
Kiara.
Huh? Monsieur Neuvillette! And you are? Oh, I remember. You're the Traveler and Paimon. I've heard about you.
Aw, she's adorable. Hey there, it's nice to meet you.
Thanks for the compliment. Is there anything I can do for you?
I heard from Sidine that you received a threatening letter.
A threatening letter? Oh, right! I remember now. The letter fell through the crack in my door as I was heading out this morning. It said something about catching me, so I thought someone wanted to play hide and seek. But Sidine told me it was a threatening letter, and that I could be in danger. But
That's not gonna happen with everyone looking after me, right?
Have you run into any suspicious-looking people recently?
Suspicious-looking people? What counts as suspicious?
Someone that follows you from behind, someone who always strikes up a conversation with you.
Did you think of something? Nope. I don't remember meeting anyone like that.
Do you still have the letter with you? I want you to show me what it says.
Oh, let's see. Found it.
Now then, get lost. If you don't leave the Maréchaussée Phantom, I will come and catch you in person. Don't say I didn't warn you. A simple threat. Neither the handwriting nor the content itself reveals anything about the writer's intentions.
Are they concealing their identity
Can't
on
rule
purpose?
out that possibility. Since you can't think of anyone suspicious, I will be heading back to the Palais Mermonia to review some official documents. Kiara, you should come with us. It's safer if you stay close by.
Sure. Wait, no. I still have a case to work on. I promised Alof that I'd check on her place later.
But you are being watched right now. Going off on your own could be dangerous.
And that's where we come in to help. We'll stay with Kiara and make sure she's safe. With us around, anyone scheming to hurt Kiara can forget about it. Thank you, Traveler. Big Sis Paimon.
Big Sis Paimon. I was expecting Paimon to... Oh, no, here it is. Yep, there it is.
All right, let us go our separate ways for now. Please take care of Kiara.
We'll take her to a lost place right away. See you around. So, Kiara, how old are you? Let me think. 1, 2, 10? I can't remember. But I remember coming to the court of Fontaine with Carol and Neuvillette. That must have been a long time ago. Carol? Didn't Neuvillette mention her just now? That was more than 400 years ago. Why would Paimon be a big sister to you? My memory isn't that good. But Carol told me I could address others based on how I feel about them. Paimon feels a lot more grown up than me, so you're a big sis. Huh. Paimon sees. Hey, Traveler, did you hear that? Strange. Paimon felt like someone was following us. Olaf!
Kiara, you're here. Huh? Wait, aren't these two...
Oh, they're the Traveler and Big Sis Paimon.
I thought so. What brings you here? Did you run into any trouble?
It's not really trouble anymore with us around. May I begin inspecting the store as planned?
Of course. Go ahead.
What is this animation?
No hazards detected. You've
You didn't
clearly
even go
inspected.
in the store!
Seems like the criminal from that case last month never set foot in here at all. That was quick. What were you inspecting? I took a look around the shop. Neuvillette says that us Melazines have special eyes that can see things people can't. Things like bloodstains. No matter how hard you try to clean them up, we Melazines can see their residual stains for some time. Pretty cool, huh?
All right. Now that you're done inspecting, can we have a chat? Hear me out. I'm planning to release an outfit for children next month, and wanted to hire you as my model. Is that okay with you?
Of course! Is there anything I need to do?
Please wait a moment while I take your measurements. The sample should be a perfect fit.
Seems like they get along really well. Huh? What are you looking at?
There's someone over
Is there
there.
really someone watching us? Shh. Let's sneak over and take a look.
There's also someone in behind. You can still see the red. Oh, Charlotte.
Strange. Why isn't he back yet?
Gotcha!
I can't wait till I can pull for Charlotte.
Charlotte, what are you doing here? Oh, wait, don't tell Paimon you're the one who sent Kiara that threatening letter. But you don't seem like the type to...
Threat letter? What threat letter?
What are you doing here exactly?
This is starting to feel like an interrogation. Okay, I'll be straight with you. I don't know the slightest thing about that threat letter you mentioned. I only wanted to follow Monsieur Neuvillette and request an interview with him.
You want to interview him?
That's right. I'm not the only one, you know. Interviewing him is every journalist's dream. But it's not an easy task to accomplish. The Palais Mermonia rarely accepts appointment requests from us, and we never have the chance to interrupt when the court's in session. So imagine how surprised I was seeing him out on the streets today. It seemed like you were investigating something too. The perfect opportunity to whip up an exclusive, don't you think? Of course, I'll make sure to turn in my manuscript to him for review. I have my principles, and I'd never publish an article without the consent of all parties involved.
Better if we kept this
Yeah,
secret.
we're doing a secret investigation that can't be made public knowledge.
I see. Well, if you say so, I guess I'll put this matter aside for now. What a shame. Chances like this don't come by very often, you know. In exchange, could you tell me what the threat letter is about? I swear I won't tell.
All right, then.
What? Someone's targeting a cute little Melazine?
Shh, not so loud.
It just so happens that I did an interview with Kiara. Last month, in fact. It was well received by our readers, so I was planning to continue the series. And now someone's coming after her? I'll ask my colleagues about it. Who knows? We might find something. And don't worry, I know what I'm doing. This secret's safe with me. But I gotta warn you, even if I keep my lips sealed, others will know eventually.
Why?
People care a great deal about Monsieur Neuvillette's each and every move. Some may have already realized that something was up. Besides, the case involves Melazines, so... Anyway, I'll get going now. Watch yourselves, all right?
Well, that was a nice chat. Let's head back and check on Kiara.
Oh, Clarend.
What do you think? The design looks pretty good, huh?
I think it's great!
Huh. It's very pretty indeed.
Clarend! What are you doing here? It seems that you just showed up out of nowhere.
As I passed by the Palais Mermonia, I heard that Neuvillette was investigating a case with you. Technically speaking, he and I are under an employer-employee relationship. It didn't feel right to have my employer personally take on such trivial cases. I happen to have some time at the moment, and came to take a look. I sometimes have my clothes custom-made at this boutique, in any case, so we always have a lot to talk about.
Ah, Neuvillette sure is lucky to have someone like you.
Leave this to me. You should go meet up with Neuvillette.
Okay then, we'll leave Kiara in your hands. Come on, let's go find Neuvillette.
A lot of named people in this.
How has your work been recently?
Same as usual. My schedule normally isn't too packed, so I have plenty of time for myself.
Ooh, then shall we go out to play? How about a beach vacation, like last time? I've even signed up as a volunteer lifeguard. I'm really good at swimming, so I'm sure I can help.
Oh, you're back. Is everything all right?
We ran into Cloran. She offered to help us protect Kiara.
That is good to hear. I trust her abilities. It looks like Kiara is in good hands.
We thought so too. Well, did you find any leads?
I've been looking over the case records, specifically inspection reports submitted by Kiara and major cases I've judged over the past decade. I've come up with two plans. On one hand, I could start with Kiara and track down the group behind all this step by step. On the other, I could also analyze the conflicting interests of these major cases and confirm my suspicions if there is indeed a mysterious group that bears a grudge against me.
They both sound like pretty solid plans, but can you really finish browsing through all these documents? That's a lot of reading even for Paimon.
Don't worry. I'm a fast reader when it comes to official documents. After all, I have several hundred years of reviewing under my belt.
We'll help you read through them. We have nothing else to do.
Thank you. I will continue looking through the ones piled up on the desk, but feel free to browse through anything else in this room.
Am I not currently reading the ones he has on his desk?
Have you made any progress?
We skipped through some of them, but there wasn't anything useful. Oh, there are so many documents lying around. Just how many cases have you handled?
I would love to answer that question, but the truth is I've never made a precise calculation myself. If memory serves me right, there should be at least 100,000 cases. The documents you see are just a small fraction of what's really there.
Whoa, that's a lot. Looks like the work of a Chief Justice isn't easy at all.
That might be how it seems from another's perspective, but trials and official duties are, to me, simply routine. There are many documents here. Take a break if you are tired.
You read Paimon's mind.
All right, let us take a break then.
Yo, can I have a nice cold glass of water? Nothing to talk about.
Even though resting is a part, all the silence is making Paimon feel real.
Please pardon my lack of consideration. People rarely come to the Palais Memonia for matters outside of work. To be quite honest, I am not sure what we should do. Would you like to have some drinks, perhaps? You must be thirsty after all that work.
Ooh, drinks! Thank you! Paimon wonders what Neuvillette likes to drink.
Nope.
Oh, maybe he's a fan of really fancy wines.
Nope.
He seems like the type of person
He's
who'd
got
own
the
an entire
most
winery. Like D-Luke.
the most classic vintage drink out there.
What's inside these glasses? It looks just like water.
It is water.
An astute observation. It is indeed water.
Never let my hydro homie, bro.
Plain old.
What did you think it was?
Since you're the Chief Justice and all, Paimon thought you'd sophisticated.
This water is indeed very special. It would not be an overstatement to call it sophisticated.
Huh?
I believe you've already tried Fonta. In fact, there are many other drink factories in Fontaine, including those that specialize in packaging pure drinking water. Said water is sourced from all across Tevat, including Mondstadt's Cider Lake, Liyue's Chintsa Village, and Inazuma's Konda Village. Here is one of their latest products, water from Sumeru's Apam Woods.
Is there any difference?
If I were to comment on their mouthfeel, the waters of Cider Lake warm the heart. The waters of Chintsa Village have a poignant touch, while one might call the waters of Konda Village placid. Distinct differences exist between the waters of each area. You will appreciate their intricacies once you taste them carefully.
Really? Let Paimon try!
Nope, this tastes like water.
What do you think?
Nope. Paimon couldn't taste any difference at all. Isn't this just normal water?
How regrettable. It seems like you still have a long way to go in refining your tastes.
Hey, this doesn't have to do with refining our taste. Paimon's pretty sure most ordinary people can't tell the difference. How did you do it anyway? Oh, could it be because you're the Hydro Dragon?
I wouldn't necessarily say the Hydro Dragon. I'd probably more attune it to the fact that he, as the Hydro Dragon, he probably just has a very high resonance with the Hydro element. Like, I feel like technically, Farina could probably do the same thing if she wanted to.
We are allowed to bring that up, right? Since no one else is around? Oh, Paimon's been wanting to ask this for ages. If you're the Hydro Dragon, why would you become Chief Justice in human society? Sorry. Paimon was just curious. You don't have to answer.
There's nothing to hide. I was simply organizing my thoughts. I accepted this position because I wanted to seek out answers to questions that have perplexed me.
Questions? Are there really things you can't figure out?
Many, in fact. But the one question that puzzles me the most concerns my own existence. In essence, I neither know why I was born in this form, nor do I understand where my long life should take me. I lost many memories from the moment I was born. The primordial sea, for example. I can only vaguely recall its connection to me, but I am unaware of what that connection is exactly. Perhaps the elemental dragons of other nations may have some form of an answer. However, they are scattered across all of Tevat. Abruptly visiting could very well pose an unpredictable risk.
True. Some of them have very unique personalities, too.
I have been holding on to these unanswered questions for a long time. But there is one thing I've discovered along the way. My emotions easily resonate with those of others. Even I don't have the slightest idea what they mean.
To be fair though, if he came to Mondstadt with us, and we saw Venti, we could go see Duvall no issues.
Perhaps I could one day understand the meaning of my existence.
Have you made any progress then?
Perhaps, but I find such progress difficult to describe. As an outsider, chances to engage in meaningful interactions with others are few and far between. That's why I'm quite thankful for this chat. Such opportunities are rare. Alas, time is limited. We should move on with our investigation.
Are we gonna continue reading these documents?
I wasn't able to find any leads even after browsing through most of the documents. But while we were on the topic of water a moment ago, another idea came to me.
Water? Do you mean...
A Fontaine of Lucine?
That's right. The Fountain of Lucine is where all of Fontaine's waters converge. It is the vessel of countless memories and emotions. If there really were an organization attempting to use Melusines against me, they should also hold an intense resentment towards me. Perhaps we'll be able to find some new leads by sensing the hydro element within the fountain.
Huh. Why didn't Paimon think of that? Come on, let's go take a look!
Perhaps we should go. There shouldn't be too many people near the Fountain of Lucine during the evening.
Now I have to ask, is it actually evening?
Monsieur Neuvillette?
I probably shouldn't disturb them.
Looks like we got lucky today. There's hardly anyone around.
What should we do next? Oh, Traveler, can you still hear the voices from the fountain?
Should I drink more primordial seawater?
Perhaps leave the investigation to me. I need you to take a few steps back and keep a safe distance.
A safe distance? Neuvillette, what exactly are you... Whoa, it's glowing!
I like how he's a cane. Yo, did we just enter into Timeless River?
Thank you for bringing us here, Monsieur Neuvillette. The court of Fontaine is truly incredible. There's so many things I've never seen or heard before.
I understand your excitement, but there's no need to thank me. Although I have responded to your wishes, it was not without personal interest. Melusine's special sight make them especially suited for joining the Maréchaussée Phantom. I'm certain you'll become an indispensable part of Fontaine's detective force.
I know, but I'm really glad to be of help. Not only can I repay you for your kindness, but also, it feels like my life has become a lot more meaningful.
But a meaningful life also comes with its risks.
It's definitely the safest to just stay in the village, but I want to see the outside world nonetheless. In truth, I've never really understood the purpose of my existence, or what I'm capable of contributing to this world. For almost 20 years, we've stayed in our village without finding any answers. That's why we wanted to leave our village and look for the meaning of our existence elsewhere.
I understand your confusion. In fact, I feel the same way. I too came here for an answer to my questions about my own existence.
Really? Could you tell us what we should do to fit in as you did? The truth is, many people threw rocks at us today and told us to go back to our village. It hurt a lot when they hit me in the head, and I tried really hard not to cry.
Logically speaking, both time and effort are essential when different species attempt to peacefully coexist. It will be a difficult road ahead, with countless obstacles to overcome. Different identities and ways of thinking all contribute.
Why do the people hate this race so much? Like, it's not even like they're violent.
Easy feat. There aren't many suggestions I can share, because just like you, I haven't fully integrated into this society. Despite my social status, I am still an outsider.
Oh, I see. Let's all do our best then. I'm confident that we'll find the meaning of our existence one day.
I believe in you, but you shouldn't lose sight of the difficulties ahead. If you run into any trouble, I suggest that you inform Vautrin, the captain of the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol.
Huh? Is he the person I met in the Palais Marmonia earlier?
Yes? Do you have any concerns?
That stone-faced human. He didn't even bother to look at me when I tried talking to him. It felt like he wasn't interested in anything but work.
He is an earnest man. There will be plenty of opportunities to work together in the future, so please try to get along.
Is this that dude? No, no, this is someone else.
Hello. Can I help with anything?
Thanks, but no need.
Oh. Hello, I'm Carol, a Melazine. Is there anything you need help with?
Get away from here! I'm calling the guards.
Please, calm down. I don't mean to cause
Isn't she a guard?
Hard to say.
Why do people hate this race so much?
You should probably stay away from these monsters. Haven't you realized? Strange incidents have been increasing ever since they came.
Why should we trust this species from who knows where anyway? I can't believe Neuvillette allowed them into the court of Fontaine just like that.
Exactly. That so-called Chief Justice even granted them official positions. Not only that, but they're now responsible for investigating cases as well. I swear, there's some hidden agenda at play here.
Go away! Quit acting innocent!
I'm not leaving. I won't let you say bad stuff about him. We joined the Maréchaussée Phantom and solved lots and lots of cases. We've never done anything wrong.
Solving cases? With Neuvillette in cahoots with you? You could have fabricated it all, and no one would know. So tell me, how can you guarantee that you Melazines aren't involved in anything that occurred recently?
Didn't I tell you before? Don't go advertising if you're not a good talker.
Vautrin?
Aside from spreading unjustified rumors, if you continue insulting members of the Maréchaussée Phantom, the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol has every right to subject you to interrogation. There have indeed been an increase in cases recently, perhaps due to the shifting currents of conspiracy, and I understand your concern. However, there's been no evidence pointing towards Melazines being involved.
Even the captain of the security patrol is on their side. Neuvillette's newly reformed police force is already corrupt to the core.
How can two completely different species possibly coexist?
Hey, Lo. How are you, man?
You heard that?
Yeah.
Better.
I don't understand.
Not great, but better.
Believe us.
There have been rumors saying that you were born from calamity, and that you inherently bring danger to those around you. There are countless negative rumors about you floating around in Fontaine. It's near impossible for you to become a part of this society. Best if you give up before it's too late.
Monsieur Neuvillette said that we needed to put both time and effort in. I don't know how
Yeah,
long it'll
I
take,
try my best. I still got a lingering cough, and I think I pinched a nerve in my foot, which has made the last 2 days of work really hard.
Thank you for bailing me out earlier. Okay, I won't be taking any more of your time. I painted a lot of flyers last night, so I have to stay and hand them out to everyone.
Give them to me.
You're not gonna take them away, right?
We'll hand them out together. The faster we get this done, the sooner we can head back.
No, it's all three of them.
Monsieur Neuvillette, what's this?
Medals of Peace, awarded to you and Vautrin. Thank you for your continued dedication in the past 5 years. You've taken one small step forward in helping Melusines gain the trust of humans.
I think I'll pass.
Hey, don't say that. We wouldn't have made it this far without you. It won't be long before Melusines begin living peacefully with the humans. Just the thought of it makes me happy.
Don't keep your hopes up. We've barely scratched the surface. There's still a long way to go before that dream of yours comes true.
You blockhead! Don't ruin the mood!
Vautrin brings up a good point. The trust humans have placed in you is still very fragile. Any small incident could undermine the hard work you've put in. Please be on your guard for the next few days.
Yes, sir.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, I'm happy to be streaming again.
Medal of Peace? Peace isn't going to give us back what's rightfully ours.
Are you sure we should do this? We're no match for Neuvillette, even with all our powers combined. What if...
Nah, not gonna happen. As long as he remains in his position, there's no chance he'd take us out personally. There are rules even he must comply with in the political sphere, unless he wants to become an enemy of Fontaine. So quit worrying and just go ahead with it. I've already planned out the murder. Once we lay the blame on the Melusines as the person who brought them to the court of Fontaine, Neuvillette will be left with no excuse.
I guess you're right. Ugh. If he just left things the way they were, it never would have come to this. But he's forced our hand. Time to teach him a lesson.
So they're... What in their right mind? Like, they're deciding, oh, we need to kill someone and frame it on other people.
Turn the murderer in!
Melusines can't be trusted! That goes for Neuvillette, too!
Peaceful coexistence? What a joke. Get out of the court of Fontaine and don't ever come back!
The results of the investigation are in, Captain Vautrin.
Go on.
There is no direct evidence, but reasonable inference indicates that the ones controlling the situation are supporters of the old regime, whose interests have been undermined by the reform. They tricked Miss Carroll into going to the crime scene and pressed charges against her. After that, they incited panic among the people in order to make Monsieur Neuvillette confess to his mistakes and yield up power. The guards were stopped by the enraged mob and couldn't intervene in time. Miss Carroll chose to sacrifice herself to pacify the situation.
And she called me a blockhead. A little investigation would have cleared things up. Why didn't she wait until we'd established the truth? She didn't have to prove her innocence like that.
The situation had rapidly escalated to a physical altercation between infuriated citizens and the guards. Miss Carroll might have thought there was no better plan.
That is indeed something she'd do.
Captain Vautrin, should I present these results to Monsieur Neuvillette right away?
There's no need. Notify the guards to restrict public access to all information.
Restrict access to... Wait, are you planning to...
There's something I've never told Carol. I had a little sister named Ilaria who passed away when I was very young. She's just like Carol in every possible way. Innocent, kind, always believing the best of people. People like her are the most vulnerable to deception and betrayal. From the moment I met Carol, I knew that she'd be easily manipulated by others. I kept a cold demeanor and tried lecturing her into giving up.
Looks like she was unfazed by that.
Yes. In fact, some of her spirit must have rubbed off on me instead. Because I too began working towards that pie-in-the-sky dream of hers. I should have known. Those cowards don't have the guts to confront Neuvillette. They even avoided causing trouble for me. They were after Carol all along. Can you understand how I feel? Right now, there's only one thought on my mind. Only through bloodshed can their debt be repaid.
I understand, but I'm certain Monsieur Neuvillette wouldn't accept that as a solution.
That's exactly why we need to keep this a secret. Give me the list of suspects. What happens after this has nothing to do with any of you. I will take responsibility for everything.
Yeah. And this is going to be like a trial. You haven't seen any Farina yet, so I think it's only fair.
Know? They're hearing a major case today, and the criminal is Captain Vautrin of the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol. Apparently, he resorted to personal measures to seek revenge for Carol and settled the score with the group that framed his friend. Hey, why aren't you saying anything?
I'm thinking... we should try our best to bail him out when the trial commences.
Bail him out? Why?
Shh, keep it down! Haven't you realized? Both Vautrin and Carol are Neuvillette's most trusted subordinates. After everything that happened to Carol, Neuvillette's guaranteed to do everything he can to keep Vautrin around. Besides, now that the old regime has been uprooted, Neuvillette's status is secure as can be. As long as we redirect public opinion, Neuvillette will be able to give Vautrin a reprieve. The benefits are endless.
Vautrin sought vengeance for his friend for a valid cause. This represents the justice he upholds. Please think about it. If the same thing had happened to you, wouldn't you feel the same way he did?
Yeah, that's right! This whole thing started because of those despicable cowards who levied false accusations against Carol. How could Vautrin be declared guilty for seeking revenge?
Monsieur Neuvillette.
Mr. Vautrin is innocent!
He's innocent!
Order! I acknowledge your arguments. Vautrin, your revenge could be seen as a form of justice. I understand your decision, which is why I cannot help but feel regret and even grief about the judgment I must now impose. Personal justice does not equate to justice as defined by the law.
I'm in a, yeah, it's the story. I'm in a flashback. So everything's in black and white.
Your actions have thus violated the law. Therefore, you will be declared guilty.
What?
That can't be! Monsieur Neuvillette, please give this a little more thought. He has done so much for Fontaine.
Vautrin, my friend, is there anything else you want to say?
Neuvillette, what have I done to deserve this? I've closely followed every one of your orders. Can't you see? Everyone in this room believes that I'm innocent. Why can't you just let me off? Is this what justice means to you? Answer me, Neuvillette!
Order. Since there have been no further objections, the Oratrice will now deliver the final verdict regarding the charges against Mr. Vautrin. According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal, Mr. Vautrin will be declared guilty.
Goodbye, Monsieur Neuvillette.
This all happened because of Carol's naive ideas.
How can different species peacefully coexist anyway?
Hey, stop spacing out! What's wrong? Are you not feeling well?
Apologies, it seems like my memories got the better of me. I tried my best to suppress the power of Hydro within myself, but it seems like it still caused the emotions within the Fountain of Lucine to boil over. Due to my negligence, the overflow of emotions and memories must have affected you as well. Are you all right?
Wow. The Hydro Dragon is more powerful than Paimon thought. Anyways, the last time we came here, the Traveler only heard voices from the Fountain of Lucine. No emotions boiling over or anything.
It is as you said. This might be because I am different. It is not only the fountain. I can sense emotions from all waters in Fontaine. Rivers, lakes, and even the rain.
That sounds awesome!
But I rarely ever do anything like this. Emotions carried by water are always chaotic and disconnected. As an outsider, having my mind occupied with irrelevant memories isn't exactly a pleasant experience.
Memories I saw were related to you.
Which ones?
From when you brought Carol to the court of Fontaine to when you declared Vautrin guilty.
It's fine. I prefer not to speak of those memories. That does not mean I am deliberately hiding them. It was a coincidence, but perhaps it is a good thing that you saw everything in that form. You should now understand why I believe there to be a conspiracy behind all this. These two cases are much too similar. I felt like I needed to do something.
Paimon's starting to lose track of what you're saying. Don't leave Paimon out of the conversation. Paimon wants to help too.
Then let us get back to the point. While I was investigating the fountain, I discovered something strange. I did not sense too much hatred towards me within its accumulated emotions. However, I did find some resentment directed towards Kiara. If I remember correctly, it seemed to be related to a smuggling case. I don't know what caused this to happen, but it seems like there won't be a shortcut to finding the organization that may be pulling the strings here.
Oh! Didn't we read about that in one of the documents?
You've read about it? In that case, the resentment should have come from that incident.
Huh? What are you doing here?
Yo! It's a beauty queen!
Neuvia! Nice to see you again!
Hello, sweetheart!
I've heard some things, but I'm not purposely asking around or anything. Don't worry. Rumors are abroad that someone's scheming against Melusines, and that you're investigating the case. So I told the Spina di Rosula to keep an eye out for leads. We've had unfamiliar faces showing themselves at the Fleuve Cendre lately. Maybe you'll find the suspects among them.
Thank you. Where did you hear about all this?
The Chief Justice out on investigation, accompanied by the Traveler from afar. No matter how you conceal your whereabouts, there will be countless eyes watching you. You talked
She's
to
also
Kiara,
just beautiful.
but didn't ask her to keep things secret. People curious to know asked around for information, then it was only a matter of time before word of the threatening letter spread all across Fontaine.
So that's what Charlotte meant.
Indeed. I did not expect that this could be kept hidden for too long.
She had a very big role in the first two acts of Fontaine.
You know, it could be because you attract more attention than you think. Anyway, any progress with the investigation?
The suspects who threatened Kiara might have to do with a certain smuggling case, but it is still uncertain if there is in fact another party behind all this. We are planning to return to the Palais Mermonia to revisit some details and identify the senders of that threatening letter.
Alright, then I'll round up the Spina di Rosula and follow up on their progress. Wait for my word. Ta-ta!
Neuvillette, do you think there'll be any problems now that the word is out?
I have already considered that possibility, and I do not think that there will be any. As a matter of fact, once the word gets out, no one would dare to harm Kiara in broad daylight. What is more important is how the case is perceived by the public. 400 years ago, they chose to side with the old regime and direct their resentment towards the Melusines. I hope the same won't happen again. Let us head back to the Palais.
Strange. What are these people doing out on the streets so late at night? Did something happen? Let's take a look around.
Have you heard? Someone's plotting against a Melusine. This is 100% the truth. Even the Chief Justice is investigating in person.
What? That's it! Who's been threatening Melusines? Show yourself!
Our enemies are lurking in the shadows and won't easily reveal themselves. But no amount of hiding will keep us from finding them.
That's
This
exactly
is so
what I
sweet.
wanted to say. The guards have already begun to take action. We can't just stand by and watch. Think about how much we owe them. Now that they're in danger, how can we just sit back and do nothing?
Everyone, please stay alert to your surroundings from now on. If you see any suspicious persons, report them to the guards immediately.
It feels like you've been following me this whole time. Did something happen?
We were informed that. Nope. We just finished our shifts and happened to be strolling by.
Have you had dinner yet? Why don't we check out the new items at the dessert shop together?
This isn't a good time to be out and about.
Don't act tough. I bet you're hungry too.
All right, let's go buy a cake or something.
You shouldn't ever skip meals, especially if you have another shift scheduled for later.
Oh, it's such a sweet moment.
I heard even Neuvillette's keeping an eye on the situation. This is the perfect chance to get promoted. We gotta make sure we give it all we've got.
Seriously? Were you planning to shirk your duties if Neuvillette wasn't involved?
Relax, I was just playing. We've worked together for years now. If something happened to them, I'd be haunted by regret for the rest of my life.
That's more like it. We should stand guard until the criminal has been caught.
Come and fight me instead, you cowards!
Have you heard? Even the special patrol came to help. Shh, look. Is it that Neuvillette?
Looks like there's nothing to worry about.
This is truly wonderful.
So, wanna go over and say hi?
No, I should stay where I am. My appearance could give rise to unnecessary...
This guy needs to
promotion.
talk with Raiden.
Let us stick to our plan and return to the Palais Mermonia. The faster we uncover the truth, the better.
Literally, the two of them are like, my presence is too intimidating for me to, want to talk to people. The only difference was that Raiden was, or A, I should just say, A was completely oblivious to the, nature her presence had on her people. Well, he's completely aware of it, and it makes him nervous. But not like in a bad way nervous. Nervous like public speaking nervous.
The smuggling case was solved by the joint forces of the guards and the Maréchaussée Phantom. This is the one. The list of involved suspects should be... Ah, found it.
What does it say?
The principal offenders Domenico, Inica, Yuna, and others have been caught. They have been sent to the fortress of Meropide following trial. Those with close connections or mutual interests with the offenders but who did not participate in the case will not stand trial. Among them, surveillance of Essin has ceased on account of his good behavior. All other personnel remain on our watch list.
So many names. Is the one who sent that threatening letter to Kiara on the list?
Yes, there is something suspicious about Hassan, to be precise. It seems like he's closely related to the core members of the smuggling case, and he moves around without much restriction.
Are we telling Navia about
Monsieur
this?
Neuvillette, someone claiming to be from the Spina de Rosula just checked in with us. He said, and I quote, "We have located the suspect. They're chatting at the cafe." Huh? How did Navia find them so quickly? We've only just figured out the suspect's name.
I too am perplexed. The cafe isn't too far from here. We should head over and take a look.
I do know there'll be a fight at some point. Every personal story has a dungeon where you get to utilize the character of the story.
Hey, Navia, we're here! Whoa. Check out all these people. Hey there, are you Navia's friends too?
These are the people who have had recent dealings at the Marechaussee Phantom. They're usually hidden in the Fleuve Cendre, but I sent for someone to invite them over.
Invite them over?
Exactly. Now, I heard there's great coffee here, and so I asked them if they'd like to come and have some.
Yeah, it's our pleasure to be guests of the Spina di Rosula.
I've wanted to have a meetup like this.
Something feels off. But, oh well. Let's get back to business. Is there anyone called Essan here?
Yes, that's me.
You're Essa?
Yes, yes, Monsieur Neuvillette.
Did you write that threatening letter to Kiara?
I did, but I was just following orders.
Orders from whom?
Domenico, he was my boss. I couldn't disobey his orders.
Domenico? Where is he now?
The fortress of Meropide.
Well, I'm afraid even the Spina would have trouble looking into that place. Looks like you'll have to make the trip yourselves. This was as much as I could do.
You've done more than enough. I am extremely grateful for your help.
Leave the formalities for later. You should find Domenico first. If he really is the one setting up the conspiracy, it'd be best if he's exposed as soon as possible.
Alright then, let's head to the fortress right now.
Did we finish having our coffee with, like, I don't drink coffee? So you now have an option to choose which quest to suspend? That's fucking fantastic. I don't drink coffee, but I think I could withstand a cup if it meant sitting down and talking with Navia. Yo, Risley, my dude.
Welcome to the Fortress of Meropide, dear esteemed guests.
We're back! Oh, and a greeting from none other than the Duke himself. Guess we made a name for ourselves at this place.
This isn't anything new. I figured you had important matters to discuss when the two of you, not to mention the Chief Justice, showed up. Let's assume we've gone through the pleasantries and cut right to the chase. I do remember a thing or two about Domenico. He once attempted to round up the other inmates and instigate a protest.
Who does this guy think he is? Paimon hopes nothing came of it.
He once attempted to, I said, meaning that it was over before it even started. And now he's threatening Melazines, is he? To be honest, Domenico doesn't seem like much of a conspirator. The fact that the three of you bothered to personally investigate raises a flag. Is there something else going on behind the scenes here?
He's got the same concerns we do.
I am concerned about this incident because something similar has occurred in the past. I wish to meet Domenico in person and have my questions answered.
That's an easy one. Let me think. I think he's at...
Oh, did I hear someone say Melazine?
Yay! The cute little nurse. I want to pull for her because she's adorable.
Yeah, and we're investigating.
Whenever she's available.
Her seems to be imprisoned here.
Another hydro healer doesn't hurt to have.
Is Kiara gonna be okay?
There's no need to worry. Clarande is protecting her as we speak.
Well, that's great. But if the criminal's still... Is there anything you can do about this?
Ah, head nurse. Do you require me to personally deal with the criminal?
Writhsley.
I get it. I'll bring Domenico to you. That's your only demand, correct?
Think of it as more of a humble request. I'm here on my own accord, not to formally transfer a criminal for trial. I urge you to set aside any concerns. Thanks for the trouble. Consider me in your debt.
Whoa! If Paimon were you here, Grace, Paimon would take this chance to ask for something really important.
Well, were I still a criminal, I'd probably ask for a lighter sentence. But I'm sure Monsieur Neuvillette would reject that. But enough jokes. I'll look for Domenico and bring him to you. Make yourselves at home. Our dear head nurse has mentioned you quite a few times, so I'm sure she has a lot to say.
Please come with me to the infirmary. Ah, and watch your step. There's some pretty dark areas, so make sure you don't trip over anything.
She's so sweet. She's literally like the Melazine Barbara. I need to have her and Barbara interact, and maybe Bijou.
Now that I think about it, I can leave this place soon.
Because they're basically all the healers of their respective regions, right? Like the quote doctors of each region.
Please rest here for a moment. Oh, and would anyone like anything to drink? Paimon's not that thirsty. Thirst is a warning sign that you're dehydrated, which means you have to drink up even before that. I'll bring you some tea. I'm sure you'll have a lot to talk about. Typical Sejuin. Concerned about everyone's health as always. Why aren't you two saying anything?
The criminals we passed by
I noticed
earlier.
them too. The badges they wore on their chests looked quite familiar.
Familiar? Paimon didn't even realize they were wearing them. But if both of you say so, let's go ask them about it.
That's not a bad idea. I will stay here and wait for news from you.
I'm assuming it's the badge of the, that, like, revolution thing.
Anything you need? Oh, this? Are you interested?
What's that?
We have a very long history, going back as far as 400 years ago. We have never had many members throughout our history, nor do we have much of a reputation, but everyone helping each other is our purpose. At the same time, we seek to maintain just dealings as much as possible.
sounds like a pretty neat organization.
All we want is to defend ourselves. None of us have ever committed serious crimes, and we're not especially powerful either. We're at a natural disadvantage here in the fortress, but people won't give us a hard time if we stick together.
Interested in joining the If you'd like to learn more, here's our fly. Our slogan may have evolved over the centuries, but our goal has remained unchanged. Here, this book is for you. You're welcome to come and sign up anytime.
So that guy just basically gave us information.
You two look kind of familiar. It's the symbol of the mutual aid network designed by our first president. From what I've heard, it's based on something called a Medal of Peace. I've never seen one of those medals for myself, though. The first president of our network was an amazing person. Powerful as he was, he never used his strength against anyone. He encouraged the weaker criminals to stick together and look out for each other. All of us have a lot of respect for him.
We should have gathered enough information. Let's head back and talk to Neuvillette.
Did you manage to gather any intel?
The people who wore the badges belong to an organization called the Mutual Aid Network. According to them, the badge's design was inspired by the Medal of Peace. Have you seen any of those before?
I personally crafted 2 of them myself. They were awarded to Carol and Vautrin. Carol's medal was destroyed in a fire. The only one that remained should belong to Vautrin.
Oh. So the network was inspired by...
Vautrin.
Monsieur Neuvillette, His Grace has requested your presence in his office. He's found Domenico.
All right. Let us talk to him first and get to the bottom of this.
What is this with me not being able to have drinks with cute or beautiful people or girls? She offered tea and I didn't get my tea. Oh, God. I feel bad because it feels like I'm faking the cough, but I'm in a way I'm trying to force the cough to just like get it out. So it sounds like I'm just kind of like forcing a cough, like faking it. The tickle in my throat is not in the right spot for a legitimate cough.
Allow me to introduce this fine gentleman, Domenico. Why don't you explain everything to him?
Neuvillette? What do you want? What are you gonna do? Kill me?
Calm down. I merely want to ask you a few questions. Was it your idea to send that letter to a Melusine? Hassan has already confessed, so there really isn't any need to keep hiding.
That idiot! I can't believe I trusted him.
Let me ask this another way. It was your idea to send that letter, correct?
Yes.
Who is pulling your strings?
There's
what?
The text versus voice is not great here.
For something I haven't done, are you?
It's already like the 4th time I've noticed the text has said different things to what they're saying.
Of your situation. The Chief Justice of Fontaine has been personally investigating your case. I assume your previous attempt to incite unrest at the Fortress of Meripede has something to do with this as well.
I admit I acted on impulse. I'll tell you the truth. But before that, you must ensure my safety.
I can do that.
You see, We're all reasonable people here.
I only intended to do some small business at first. Someone contacted me about delivering some goods and promised me a generous sum of more in return. After making a few trips, I was suddenly approached by the Marechaussee Phantom. They accused me of smuggling prohibited items, and I was put on trial. But I refused to accept any of that. The ignorant can be rightfully absolved from guilt, right? Well, I suspect that someone got me locked up here so they could get their hands on my goods.
And then you decided to take revenge on the Melazines? Over that?
Ignorance is not an excuse, by the way.
My initial target was Neuvillette. Everyone in the fortress of Meripede was declared guilty by him after all. So they must more or less hold a grudge against them, right? If I could get them to strike back. But for some reason, no one wanted to team up with me. That mutual aid network in particular. What did those nobodies even gain from trying to challenge me? Seriously. In the end, I had to redirect my focus onto Melazines to salvage things. I recall that Kiara was the one who confiscated my goods for inspection. So I asked one of the more approachable guards to send a letter, claiming that I meant to contact my family. But the letter was in fact addressed to Essa. I requested that he write a threat letter to Kiara and force it to resign from the Marechaussee Phantom.
Am I to assume that the claims you've made are your own thoughts? Have you been in contact with any suspicious people recently?
No.
Is it true that all members involved in the smuggling scandal have been caught?
Yes. And that's all I know.
Sigewinne, please take him back to the detention center. I'll deal with him later. So, Monsieur Neuvillette, you were concerned that there might be a shadowy faction looking to capitalize on the delicate situation with the Melazines to stir up greater chaos?
Yes. I experienced a similar incident in the past, so I had to be prepared for any possibility.
And how long ago was this incident?
400 years ago.
More than 400 years.
You might be overthinking this. Time can change a lot of things. Everything's different.
What do you mean?
400 years ago, you and the Melazines you brought to Fontaine were the outliers in society. But in the present day, if someone were to threaten the safety of the Melazines, people wouldn't just sit back and do nothing. I trust that they would make different choices from before.
That's right! We saw lots of people standing up for Melazines on our way back to the Palais Mermonia.
Monsieur Neuvillette, the Melazines are a species you introduced to Fontaine. How the public treats them is also reflective of their attitude towards you. When people refused to place their trust in Melazines, it was because they were still on the fence about you, their unfamiliar Chief Justice. For almost 500 years, you've conducted every trial with impartiality. You made the right judgment each time, regardless of whatever nonsense went on. People no longer have any reservations about you and even consider you a symbol of the law. Right now, your every decision will impact all of Fontaine. In other words, you've gradually transformed the whole nation.
Paimon gets it now. No wonder no one wanted to join forces with Domenico.
The tragedies like that won't ever happen again.
I am undeserving of such high compliments. From my perspective, I have simply been fulfilling my duties. It isn't anything special or worthy of praise. I'm simply fulfilling the promises I've made and searching for answers through my judgments. It is unnecessary to hold me in such high regard. The complexity of human emotions and willpower far exceed those of mine. As a matter of fact, I believe that you are the ones who deserve my respect.
There's no need to be so modest. The current state of affairs says it all. You're no longer that outsider you were before. Even if you wished to investigate something on your own, many would take the initiative to lend you a hand.
I must say that you've made a fair point. Thank you for clearing my doubts. Now that the case has been settled, I should get going.
Huh? You're leaving?
And so soon, too? Why not stay for a cup of tea?
Thank you for the offer, but I know how this place works all too well. While some are here to redeem themselves, there will inevitably be those who harbor resentment towards me. The less time I spend here, the better. My presence could very well result in an unwanted disturbance.
In that case, I'll have to insist. I still have 2 more things to say.
Please, go ahead.
The first is about the guard who helped Domenico send that letter.
Ah, I know of what you speak. The guard was indeed deployed from the Palais Memoria's staff. However, as I mentioned earlier, I visited today on personal business. Therefore, I leave that matter in your hands.
Well, that makes things a lot easier.
You're not going to...
Hey now, don't let your imagination run wild. Those from up there have a tendency to sympathize with others. However, down here, such thoughts will put you at high risk. I'll have a chat with the guard and remind him to take precautions in the future.
I see no issues with that.
Great! That's one thing out of the way. What's the other thing you wanted to say?
The other thing was born from my own sense of curiosity. Now, I've heard that you investigated the mutual aid network. Is that right?
Yep. Neuvillette thought their badges looked familiar.
I noticed the small gang as well when I first took over the Fortress of Meripede. They were not great in number, but every member always made sure to stand up for what was right. I've looked into their founder, Vautrin, who once stood trial and was sentenced to imprisonment in the fortress. According to existing documentation, Vautrin remained disciplined throughout his imprisonment. He had never once engaged in physical or verbal aggression. In other words, how he presented himself in prison was very different from his behavior in court.
What?
Doesn't he hate Neuvillette?
During his trial, I could sense that his feelings were complicated. He appeared to be full of resentment, and I believe he had every right to feel that way.
Perhaps he had been putting on an act.
An act?
Neuvillette and Vautrin had a close relationship as superior and subordinate. Vautrin must have known that the Chief Justice would make an impartial judgment. Thus, the more resentment he displayed, the clearer it would be to those present that you were upholding justice. And to those who had been sitting on the fence, Vautrin's act was a very meaningful one. That's all from me.
So in the end, even he took the sacrifice too.
I don't have anything to say. Apart from expressing my gratitude, that is. Well then, let us head back. No need to see us off.
Please, take care.
That trial is something I rarely bring up in conversation, but I have always felt deep regret for what happened to both Carol and Vautrin. The words he spoke in court often replay in my mind, as if urging me on to do something.
But Risley said he never resented you, right? Isn't that a good thing?
I believe I now understand what he wanted to tell me. I feel conflicted about those words. How should I describe it? Surprise, relief, fear, and regret. But this blend of emotions has led me to finally understand some things. I would like to hear your thoughts too. What do you think of me?
Paimon agrees with everything Risley said. As Chief Justice, every single one of your trials makes an impact on Fontaine. What do you think, Traveler? Hey, any
What I really think is...
Oh wow, you're
every
speaking!
trial you've ever judged has left its impression on you. And that's what makes you who you are today.
As the Hydro Dragon Sovereign Neuvillette still thinks of himself as an outsider due to his identity. So much time has passed then. Perhaps the lines between him and humans have long since blurred.
That is indeed a reasonable assumption. As I said, I find it difficult to express my emotions because I cannot fully understand myself. But I trust your judgment. Since some time ago, I have begun to notice the changes that have occurred upon my person. These changes were not due to any specific occurrence, but emerged as a result of time itself. I will try to contemplate this further. Thank you both.
So there's no combat in this entire story.
Oh. Huh? It's raining! Oh no! Paimon forgot to bring an umbrella! Come on, let's hurry before it rains harder!
Raining because of him. The lore is that when it rains when the Hydro Dragon cries. Since he's the Hydro Dragon.
It's raining again? I've had enough of this weather.
There go my travel plans.
Did you read the news this morning? Quick, put away everything on the clothesline.
When is this rain going to stop?
Hydro Dragon, don't cry!
That got me. That got me to quiver. A few tears welling up.
They're planning to reanimate the monster. We have to report this to the Chief Justice.
The Fortress of Maripede. It's a good place for me.
He owes me so many answers.
Neuvillette? You could say he's the real symbol of Fontaine's justice.
Watch him closely. He could be trouble.
How can two completely different species possibly coexist?
Who's been threatening Melusines? Show yourself!
You will see much in the human world, from the delightful to the depressing. And one day, when you have dwelt among humanity long enough, you will be placed to bring judgment over all as a spokesperson for Fontaine's past.
Good morning, Monsieur Neuvillette! The rainy season's almost over! The skies are supposed to clear in a few days!
I hope you find time to enjoy the sunny days ahead.
That was Farina's voice, I presume. That was probably when Farina hired him. Or like, where they met maybe, or whatever.
Is the matter resolved?
Yep, we found the person who sent that threatening letter. Risley said he'd keep a close eye on him, so the Melusines should be safe now.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Sorry for dragging you all into this.
There's no need to apologize.
Yeah, you didn't drag us in. We got involved of our own accord.
Did he even know Charlotte was involved?
Where's Kiara?
At the Palais Mermonia, more than 50 people offered to protect her. Some even hid within the bushes to look out for danger. I was worried that the excess of protection would make her feel uneasy. So I asked her to stay inside the Palais. It's very safe in there.
Like 50 people.
Well, now it looks like the dust has finally settled.
It's just like a fucking huddle around her.
Monsieur Neuvillette, would you be interested in an exclusive interview?
That's not how you celebrate!
I will consider it.
Really?
Of course. My schedule is full for the following weeks, but I should be available next month. Come up with questions during the intervening days, and I will answer them to the best of my ability.
Her life has just been made.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I must head back to the Palais and issue a communique to publicize our investigation results. I hope it will assuage the concerns of all.
Oh, an exclusive interview! Am I dreaming? What should I ask him? Don't let anything hold you back. Make the most of this opportunity and ask away.
I agree. He'll decline any question he can't answer anyway, so you might as well give all of them a shot.
Eventually the cough will stop. The story didn't take as long as I thought it was going to. It's been 3 hours, but keep in mind that I started the story an hour in. She's sleeping standing up?
Kiara?
Monsieur Neuvillette? Sorry, I accidentally fell asleep.
It's quite all right. I'm here to tell you that we have caught the sender of that threatening letter. You're safe now.
Thank you, Monsieur. And thank you too, Traveler and Big Sis Paimon. Everyone's been so nice to me, so I've always felt really safe.
Do you remember Domenico? He was the sender of that letter.
Let me think. I can't remember. My memory isn't that good, so I easily forget things. By the way, I saw Carol in my dreams just now. Where's she gone, by the way? I haven't seen her in a long time. In my dream, she looked really happy. She held my hand and said, "Kiara, our dreams have finally come true." I can't remember what our dreams were anymore, and I don't know why. But I felt really happy too.
I can sense your joy. It is indeed a delightful moment.
Monsieur Neuvillette, are you happy too? Oh, I almost forgot! Am I allowed to go out now? I promised to model for Alov.
Of course. Off you go.
See you next time, Monsieur, Traveler, and Big Sis Paimon.
See you next time.
That was a good story. I like that. What does he have to say?
I really can't fathom what goes on in her head sometimes.
Might as well get, since I'm here, I might as well start this quest that I'm not going to do, but... Come on. There you go. Yeah, so when I put Neuvillette in this team, Ayato got kicked out and he didn't actually end up going anywhere. The problem is, and I can say this right now, as odd as it might be to say, Neuvillette, or, Child's good. Like, it's weird, because, like, I know Child can be good, and, even though people think if you like to use Child, you're unhinged. But it's this bow that makes Child good. So it's a bow it's not a free-to-play bow. But it's this mechanic the bow has. When you use a normal or charge attack, there's a 50% chance every 13 or so seconds that you create a cyclone that groups enemies together. For a normal bow user, this wouldn't necessarily be an amazing weapon, but for some bow users it could be. Like Yellen has her charge attack, Tainari's charge attack it could probably work for. Yoimiya it could probably work because I think her skill causes her stuff to do like a little bit of AoE. Right? Like there's some bow users that could benefit from it. But with Child being able to go melee, he massively benefits from the usage of the bow. And that alone makes him too good for me. Like too good for the set. Ayato basically is a non-factor now. Because Neuvillette just kind of outpaces him. Several of these teams need to be reworked though eventually. This team's staying. And this team is staying for sure. Nothing is changing on these two teams. I've heard that Fiora's or Farina's whatever, her kit is basically more or less a better Kokomi, and if that's the case, I'm pulling for her because Kokomi has such great utility in so many factors: off-field hydro application, a healer, all that sort of stuff, that I'd be super happy to take Farina, pull for Farina just for that. I've been on the fence about pulling for Farina because I do like her character too. I want Navia and I want Charlotte. Right now, those are the only and Sigwine. Those are the only characters right now I care about getting. I'm not getting Risley when the banner switches over. Even though I wouldn't mind a good off-field cryo. I only have a few of those. Cryo doesn't get a lot of love, though, because of Dendro. This team, like, I like Tartaglia. Mika's fine in this team, but I don't really like anything else about this team, per se. This team's actually not half bad, I'll say. Though in all honesty, part of me wants to put Child in this team. And then I wouldn't actually mind putting Mika in it over Chi-Chi. Chi-Chi has a good off-field gimmick. Which pairs really well when you're using Hydro. Mika has the attack speed, and they're both healers, so it doesn't really matter which one I run for, but I need to find a good Seiyu team. This team's not bad, but it's not good either. This team's actually not bad, though I probably might get rid of Farazan after a point. This team's not bad. I actually really like this team. This team works well. And it'll get better once Klee gets her new book. And then this isn't actually a combat team. This is a utility team. This is a team filled with 3 people that travel and a person with a good off-field effect. So it's like he can fly, she travels fast, and she can climb really well. But I actually really like Neuvillette on this team. So the Dendro Traveler's Burst, I really only used that when Ayato's Burst was up, because it turned the whole thing into like an AoE, Hydro AoE kind of bloom field. That's not bad, don't get me wrong. But not only does Neuvillette's usage in the team, it's stronger, more consistent Dendro application, but it also generates energy really well too. Which sees the Traveler have his thing up, which I think actually allows for a lot of good utility.
Silence.
Dead. I don't have a bow user on this team. I like Chi. I like Chi-Chi. I like her character. I like her her utility in the team. She was the last standard banner character I got, and I was so happy when I got her. Oh, that's not happening because I hopped down. Oh, you could have gotten Hu Tao. Yeah, I'm not pulling for Hu Tao, so. But I got Mona on my failed 50-50, and that was pretty bad. Not gonna lie. It's like 145 pulls just to get Neuvillette.
The wind rises.
Are you serious? I got too greedy on that. Yeah, I don't know when that's gonna be. Are you kidding me? Can I stay up there and not have to keep going up every 17 times?
Find anything you like?
Probably get this chest and then I guess call it a stream there. I don't know what else to do. Alright. I need to see if I can try and get back up to the ship.
What shall we do?
Oops, raw, I didn't change teams.
Stabilize.
Swan Fury.
Behold.
I think that ship's like forever stuck up there. There's no way to get up to it from the ground.
Illusion shattered.
Crumble. Solidify. Order guide you.
Go on. Why is it not working? Come on. What is going on? Why?
Unnecessary.
I think the only way I'm getting back up is if I jump on those mountains.
Too slow. Too slow.
Stabilize.
Got it. Oh my god. Might as well just wait.
There is no escape.
Where is this taking me?
Why is there a chest here?
Good question. Why was there a blueprint for a house inside? I have tons of questions to ask, Tainari. He's gonna die. Oh no, well, I lived. Right. Very basic. I don't even know what Hydro Traveler looks like, because Dendro Traveler is just too good. Alright, well. That's where the stream's gonna end. Tomorrow's stream is going to be, what should it be? I think it's going to be Borderlands 1. And then I'm going to do RFL on, I think, Saturday and Ribbit King on Sunday. And Monday should be Guild Wars 2. I do want to say this with Guild Wars 2. While I was sick, I was not idle. When I was feeling okay enough to at least do something, I did a lot of stuff in Guild Wars 2 that would have been brain dead to have to do. Like, no joke, I went on to some of the maps that I still needed achievements for in Living Story Season 4. Some of those maps required me running the metas like multiple times. Like in Thunderhead Peak, for example, a map I've not been to story-wise. There are 2 metas. Each meta runs on an hour X45. So like the top meta will run on odd 45 and the bottom meta runs on even 45. I had the bottom meta fail on me 3 times because there just wasn't enough people. So when that happens, right, and then like Dragonfall is designed as a meta. It's a map-wide meta, and I had to run that one multiple times just due to the nature of what some of the achievements were requesting of me. Especially the fucking bridge one. And then I had in I think it was on stream where we showed that the Easton one, that meta took a while. So basically for the return to achievements, I just need to do story, and I have them all. I've gotten all those. And then the vision achievements, I just need to do a few more achievements for Thunderheads, for Thunderhead Peak, and Dragonfall. Dragonfall, there are 2 achievements that are achievable in story. So I'm waiting to do that on stream so I can run story. And then the other one, and then I got a handful of achievements I can pick through with the Thunderhead one, but one of them's tied to a daily limit. And I've been doing it every day when I sign in for dailies, so I should actually have that one by Monday. So, because there's two achievements that are both basically tied to the same thing, and I get them both in like 2 days. So, so yeah, Vision itself though, yeah, that's gonna be a fun thing. So first things first. It's going to be another fun world versus world adventure because I need another gift of battle. And even though Bolt cost me a lot, Vision is way worth it. Why is Vision more worth it? Simple. While Bolt was worth it in the nature of sword users, it's only useful on sword users. Vision, like Aurora, is useful on every character I own. Every character can use accessories. So it basically means that I never have to craft earrings again once I get Vision. And then once I get all the return to achievements in Icebrood Saga, I'm given the legendary necklace too. And then I have all 3. There's several backpacks. I think there's one in PvP, one in World v World, and one gotten through fractals. And I think there might be a raid one too. I think there's 4 types of legendary armor. One's through raids, one's through open world or open PvE. That's the newest one added in. I don't know if it's full. You can get it fully yet, but then there's one in PvP and one in World v World. And then I know there's legendary runes and sigils and stuff, which are basically normal runes and sigils, but you can actually like change what rune they are. So you never have to like buy runes again. I actually don't know if there's a legendary breather now that I think about it. I guess it would make sense if there was. And then I don't know if there's 2 legendary rings, but I know one of them is through raids. I think the legendary ring was the second legendary accessory added in after Aurora. It might have even been technically backpacks were first, but actually now I think about it, I think the ring was added in first because the ring was released before all of Season 3 was released, and you couldn't get Aurora until Season 3 was done. But yeah, so I'm on my way for Vision, but it's gonna be expensive. I'm waiting for a good payday from work, and I'm gonna throw 100 in to the game. That'll get me 8,000 gems, which I can gold convert. That's 2,000 gold. I'm hoping that's enough to get me the materials that I don't already have to make Vision, because it's a lot of materials. I need 100 rune stones, or like icy rune stones, or whatever they're called. Those are 1 gold each. So automatically that one item is 100 gold. So yeah, it's gonna take some time and effort. Another is I'm happy being back streaming. I'm happy that story didn't take nearly as long as some of the other ones do. But yeah, so I'm excited to, you know, I'm happy to be back. So I'll see everyone tomorrow for what did I say? Borderlands 1. So with that said, oh, I should probably talk about it. So the Borderlands 2 24-hour stream I was planning to do. What is going on with that? So here's the thing. I was actually hoping to feel well enough to do it tomorrow and into Saturday, but I decided that I'm still with some lingering things. I'm not going to do it, especially with it only being a 2-day off thing and not. So it'd be hard for me to recover properly, I feel like, and then be able to go to work on Sunday. So I personally don't think the 24-hour stream will happen, if not until January, my next week off. Maybe right after Christmas. I might be able to squeeze it in then, because I get a few days off after the holiday. So I might be able to squeeze it in then and do it sort of like as a Christmas thing. But the stream will still occur. It just won't happen for a few months anymore, because going forward I'm going to be insanely busy. I already have to start working. I normally work 40 hours a week. I'm already going to have to start working 45. They're going to want me to bump up to 50. I don't know if I'm doing 6 days a week or what, but it's either going to be 10-hour days or 6 days a week to fit it all in. And those days. In other news, next week's schedule is, I'm just going to say it, fucking awful. I'm basically closing 3 nights. I might still be able to squeeze in a stream, or some short streams. Like, I might be able to get in like a quick Ribbit King stream one night, and depending on the update, maybe even get in a Genshin stream if like Risley gets a character story in the next update. So there's nothing confirmed about this, but I do believe there's a reason as to why I've been forced into this position, and that reason is gone after next week. So I may very well end up in a situation where I might get to open more often, which means that I get to stream more when I get home. So, you know, here's hoping. Anyway, I'm going to call it here. With that said, my name is Daimien Kamiya. I'm the Omni King, and be a friend, foe, or member of the Omni Council. I'm going to see you later. Goodbye, everyone. And it's good to be back.